I'm coming home to you, babe, not just across distance or time, but across every version of myself that had to grow, break, and learn before it could love you the right way, because home has never been a place for me, it has always been a feeling, and somehow, without trying to claim it, you became that feeling, the one my heart kept returning to even when my life felt scattered. And when I say I'm coming home, I don't mean arriving as someone perfect or untouched by life, I mean arriving as someone who has lived, who has been shaped by struggle, who understands now that love is not about showing up empty-handed, but about showing up honest, present, and willing to stay. And babe, I hope you're ready for your man. Not the idea of him, but the real one, the one who has learned patience the hard way, who understands that commitment is built in quiet consistency, not loud promises, because loving you has changed the way I see everything, it has slowed me down, made me more intentional, more aware of the weight words carry, and when I imagine walking back into your life, I imagine doing it gently, with respect, with gratitude. Because being welcomed into someone's heart is not something you rush or take lightly, and babe, I'm coming home to you with every lesson I had to learn while I was away, with every mistake that taught me what not to bring into this love, because I don't want to repeat old patterns. I want to build something new with you, something steady, something real, something that feels safe even when it's quiet, and when I say I hope you're ready for your man, I don't mean someone who needs to be admired constantly, I mean someone who is ready to be accountable, to listen, to protect your peace instead of disturbing it, because loving you means understanding that strength is not dominance, it's reliability. It's emotional availability, it's choosing to stay present even when it would be easier to escape, and babe, I'm coming home to you with a heart that knows what it wants, not because life made things easy, but because life made things clear, and what's clear to me now is that love isn't found in chasing excitement. It's found in choosing the person who feels like grounding, like belonging, like truth, and I hope you're ready for your man who doesn't come to complete you, but to walk beside you, to support your dreams without reshaping them, to admire your strength without competing with it, because loving you means respecting who you are and who you're becoming, and when I imagine finally standing with you again, I imagine calm more than fireworks, certainty more than chaos, because the deepest loves are not loud, they are rooted, and babe, I'm coming home to you with that kind of love, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself, the kind that shows up daily, the kind that stays when emotions fluctuate. And I don't know what exact moment will call the beginning of this chapter, but I know this, that when I come home to you, I won't be arriving empty, I'll be arriving ready, ready to love you with intention, ready to build with patience, ready to protect what we share, because this time, I'm not just coming back, I'm coming home. And as the distance between us begins to feel smaller, not because miles disappear but because intention grows stronger, I want you to know that coming home to you means arriving with awareness, with a heart that understands the responsibility of being loved by someone like you, because loving you is not something casual, it is something that deserves care, presence, and consistency, and babe, I hope you're ready for your man not as someone who comes to be rescued or admired, but as someone who comes prepared to contribute, to build, to stand steady when life shakes us, because I've learned that love is not about taking center stage, it's about creating balance, and when I imagine our reunion, I don't imagine perfection, I imagine honesty. Two people acknowledging the distance they've crossed, the growth they've earned, and the willingness to start again with clearer intentions. And babe, I'm coming home to you with the understanding that trust is not rebuilt through words alone, it's rebuilt through time, through consistency, through showing up when it matters most. And I am ready for that work, because loving you has taught me patience, not the kind that waits passively, but the kind that stays active, attentive, and engaged. And I hope you're ready for your man who listens not just to respond, but to understand, who notices when your energy shifts, who respects your silence as much as your words, because loving you has made me more emotionally aware, more present, more grounded, and babe, I'm coming home to you not to recreate the past, but to honor it. While building something stronger, something wiser, something rooted in mutual growth, because what we've lived, what we've learned, what we've survived, it all matters, and it has shaped the love I bring back to you now. And when I say I hope you're ready for your man, I mean someone who doesn't arrive with ego, but with humility, someone who understands that love is not about control, but about trust, not about possession, but about partnership, and I want to be the kind of partner who protects your peace, who supports your independence, who celebrates your strength without feeling threatened by it. Because loving you has taught me that true masculinity is not about dominance, it's about reliability, it's about emotional presence, it's about being someone you can lean on without losing yourself. And babe, I'm coming home to you with the intention to stay through ordinary days and difficult ones, because love that only survives excitement is fragile. But love that knows how to exist in routine, in silence, in effort, becomes strong. And I don't expect this reunion to erase every doubt or heal every wound instantly, I expect it to be real, honest, and sometimes challenging, but I'm not afraid of that, because loving you has shown me that the best things in life are not the easiest, they are the ones worth working for. And babe, I'm coming home to you with a heart that is no longer running, no longer searching, no longer uncertain, because it knows where it belongs, and that belonging is not about ownership, it's about choice, and I choose you, consciously, carefully, and sincerely, and this is only another step closer to the moment when distance no longer separates us. When intention becomes action, when coming home becomes something we live, not just something we say. And now, as this journey finally turns toward home, I want you to understand that when I say I'm coming home to you, I'm not talking about a single moment or a dramatic arrival, I'm talking about a decision that has been forming quietly over time, a decision to stop running, to stop searching, to stop holding pieces of myself back out of fear, because loving you has shown me that home is not where everything is perfect, it's where everything is honest, and I'm coming to you with honesty in my hands and intention in my heart, ready to be present in a way I wasn't always able to be before. And babe, I hope you're ready for your man not as someone who expects you to heal him or complete him, but as someone who has done the work to understand himself, someone who knows his flaws, acknowledges his past, and still chooses to show up with integrity, because loving you has taught me that real strength is consistency, not control, reliability, not ego, and I want to be that kind of man for you. Someone whose actions feel safe, whose presence feels grounding, whose love doesn't create confusion or fear, and when I imagine coming home to you, I imagine walking into a space where we both feel seen, where silence doesn't feel threatening, where conversation feels natural, where we don't have to perform love for anyone else. Because the deepest connections don't need an audience, they need effort, and babe, I'm coming home to you with the understanding that love is not just about chemistry, it's about compatibility in values, in effort, in emotional maturity, and I don't expect us to agree on everything, but I do expect us to care enough to communicate, to listen, to grow, because loving you means valuing the connection more than being right. And I hope you're ready for your man who knows that trust is rebuilt through patience, not pressure, through actions, not arguments, and I am willing to give this love the time it deserves, because rushing has never built anything lasting, and babe, I'm coming home to you with respect for the journey you've been on while I was finding my way back. With gratitude for your strength, your resilience, your ability to keep loving even when it wasn't easy, because I don't see your softness as weakness, I see it as courage, and I want to protect that softness, not take it for granted, and when life gets heavy, when days are long, when doubts try to creep in, I want to be the one you feel safe leaning on, not because I have all the answers, but because I'm willing to sit with you in the questions, because love is not about fixing everything. It's about facing everything together, and babe, I hope you're ready for your man who understands that commitment is not proven by words spoken once, but by choices made daily, by showing up when it's inconvenient, by staying present when it's uncomfortable, by remaining gentle even during disagreement, because loving you has made me a better man, not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, intentional one, and as I come home to you, I'm not bringing expectations of perfection, I'm bringing willingness, effort, and a heart that knows what it wants, and what it wants is you, not as an idea, not as a fantasy, but as a partner, a teammate, a safe place, and if you're ready, truly ready, to open that door, to let this chapter begin with honesty and patience, then know this, that when I step into your life again, I won't be passing through, I'll be staying, not because I'm afraid to leave, but because I finally know where I belong. And coming home to you is not the end of my journey, it's the beginning of the life I'm ready to build with you, with intention, with respect, and with a love that knows how to stay. And even after saying all of this, there is still so much left in my heart that words struggle to carry, because coming home to you is not just about me arriving, it's about me remaining, about proving through time that I am not here for a moment, not here for convenience, but here for the long walk, the slow mornings, the hard conversations, the ordinary evenings that quietly become memories, and babe, I want you to know that when I say I'm coming home, I'm also saying I'm done running from responsibility. From depth, from the kind of love that asks you to grow instead of escape, because loving you has taught me that real love doesn't rescue you from life. It stands with you while you face it, and I'm ready for that, ready to be the man who shows up even when he's tired, even when he's unsure, even when the weight of the world feels heavy, because strength is not never falling, it's choosing to stand back up with intention. And babe, I hope you're ready for your man who doesn't need to dominate a room to feel secure, who doesn't need to raise his voice to be heard, because the strongest men are the ones who know how to be calm, consistent, and emotionally present, and I want to be that presence in your life. Someone whose love feels like reassurance rather than pressure, like support rather than expectation, and when doubts whisper in your mind late at night, when old fears remind you of past disappointments, I want my actions to be the answer to those fears, not arguments, not promises, but consistency, because trust is rebuilt quietly, moment by moment. And babe, I'm coming home to you with patience for your healing, respect for your boundaries, and appreciation for your individuality, because